out of the fields, because obviously there's an open area, there's no gates, so you don't have gate posts getting in the way and what have you. It's still fairly typical of UK road widths and everything else. But the thing is if you ask me, I'm going to suggest UK maps if they're available on a console, and I think most of them tend to be. Oh, where are my tractors? Okay, you are done. We've done the last of the stuff, so the other thing about this map is the animal pens are hold up to 1,000, so we could have 1,000 cows on this. I can barely cope with 150, so artificially I'm kind of selling off cows when it gets unmanageable. But obviously as I purchase more of the map and food production rises from my field harvests, it becomes easier progressively to support more cows, and obviously the more cows I have, the more milk they produce and all of the fun and games that entails, like more income. Okay, around here, in there, and field roller. We will customize that. We will make it a mulching roller. Leave everything else exactly the same. Gonna take the license plate off and do that. We've already bought the mulching rollers for that, so that's fine. And that does actually have words on the side, so you don't have to worry about what do I have there. It will tell you that it's currently set up for mulching. Connect that back to the back of the class. We'll pull that out ready for tomorrow's jobs. Park that there. Stop. Thanking you. And back to the actually, before we go anywhere, there is enough in there for another load of manure, so I might take 2 more loads of this down to the BGA, just because it pretty much empties the thing again. I'm not taking partial loads anywhere because it's still a trip. And even with 400 and whatever it is horsepower, this still struggles with 30,000 litres of pretty much anything going up that hill. How do we like it now? Okay. So, 2 loads of manure. I might come back after taking the second load with the big slurry tank and ship a couple of loads of that over as well. But we're kind of getting to the point where I'm hungry, my throat's a little bit dry, and I could use a break. Now, as I was saying, there's very little left for us to do on this farm. There is mowing, so I might skip the end of today. I don't have to mulch the cornfields immediately, so I might skip those as well for a while. Spraying, don't need to do that yet. And I don't know that there's much in the way of contracts. I will check the contract market. But we are really, the thing is part of the challenge is making a farm work. This farm is beyond working. We have done an awful lot here. We're making money hand over fist. Productions, I was going to look at this because I wasn't paying attention. We got 47,000 litres of flour. That's got to be moved in the morning. We may run out of oats. We've got sufficient sorghum for a little while. Bread making, there's no bread in storage, so that's not a big deal. Butter, not really. But it's really a case of trying not to let these storages fill up, because at that point it stops production. Okay, that was the first thing I wanted to check. The second thing, we can go back to cows. We now have 140,000 litres of straw. That didn't take much. Contracts was the thing. Details on. So we have a couple of baling contracts. The big one on field 51-ish isn't ready. There is one on 119 for 20. What's that for? Grass wrap. So that's a bale and wrap. That might be under consideration. 109 is hay. 107 is hay. 45 is silage. See, I could take advantage of doing those and keeping the spare for me. There's some cultivating contracts. I don't have a cultivator. There's some fertilizing contracts. I could go spray those. There's harvesting contracts of sunflowers, corn, potatoes, sugar beets, sorghum. There's still canola. There's still barley. Sunflowers, corn, wheat. There's still wheat. There's actually quite a lot of harvesting contracts here. There's a sugar beet harvest, there's a potato harvest, there's a sugar beet harvest. They're big fields, they pay well. I don't have the equipment to do it, so I would be paying to borrow the equipment. There's a lime contract, and there's a couple of sowing contracts, which I could do. Use my own equipment. I think that's the equipment I have. Seed canola, seed wheat. So I might look at doing some of those, but I don't know. As I said, we've got a ton of money coming in from our manure products. So I don't have to do contracts to make money if I don't want to. The reason I would be doing contracts is because I'm interested in what the contract is producing. So things like harvests, if I wanted to get potatoes, I would do a potato contract because I want the potatoes, not because I need the money. I do need some silage, so doing some grass silage contracts would be kind of helpful, I think. Okay, I think this will be the last load of manure. And then October 1, we've got lots of stuff to do. So we'll have weeding, we'll have fertilizing, we'll have probably cutting the grass for the last time this year. We should have the big grass contract up in field 53, which is to the north of the field to our left. And then we're pretty much good. We have to sell the canola in December, make sure none of the cows die, take the milk to the dairy or the sell point. But I don't think I have much things that need to be done that I'm going to have to spend a ton of time doing, like I did last week with the foraging of the maize. And then October 1, we'll also be able to uncover that bunker there and actually start using it for feed. And I think the cows will be then at the point where they need the feed. I'm going to need a bucket for the telehandler, so we can scoop that. It's going to be annoying. Part of the problem is I have, I will have to keep switching between a bale handler and a bucket to load up the TMR mixer, because the silage bales will be bales. And so when we do move over, and I'm probably not moving over next weekend, probably August, we'll look at shifting to the new farm. I will be probably doing most of the silage work as loose silage in a clamp, and if I'm concentrating on maize and grass silage, although we can do whole crop. See, there's the thing. But if I concentrate on doing let's say a crop silage, which could be fresh maize or could be whole crop, and grass silage, I will probably have 3 silage bunkers. 2 that are currently feeding from, and 1 that is ready to load with the next crop that I get to. So let's say, it's time to cut some grass. I need an empty silage, or I need an uncovered silage bunker in order to. I saw that. In order to unload the grass into, and then once you've done that, you can then. Once that's filled up, you can cover it, wait till it ferments, and then the one that's already open you need to empty and sell so that it's available for the next harvest. But you've always got your feed ready to go, all fermented and good to go, and so your cows are never without food. That's the theory anyway. This is getting to be an old tractor. I can actually see the smoke coming out of the chimney. And yeah, 93 hours. So I am running, what was it? There's a mod that increases the amount of dust that equipment puts out. So when we're running over a field with a roller, there is a cloud of dirt behind it. When you're running through a field with a harvester, there tends to be a cloud of detritus, I believe, coming out the back of it, that's just uncollected but too small grain and slightly more chopped up straw. But then we've also got the older the tractor gets, we have a mod that makes the exhaust a little bit more prominent. So at 93 hours, this tractor has a very old engine and chucks out a ton of crap. And so when we're accelerating, we just get black smoke coming out of the exhaust. Anyway. Here we go. it's not really in need of a service. That's freshly serviced, but it's so old now that it's not exactly clean, and this hill is not doing it any favours at all. It's kind of cool because up until now I've not really had the benefits of that particular mod. A fairly new tractor, just hardly any exhaust smoke. Anyway, so we'll probably, this is 30,000 litres. I'll probably do about 3 tank loads because that'll take off 90,000 litres from the slurry tanks at the farm. And it'll give us maybe 6 hours of processing before the BGA is empty again. But as I said, it's not really, that BGA overproduces. I did start off with the 50,000 pound small BGA, and it only holds 50,000 litres of anything, so one big tank and it's pretty much full, or one big cart of manure and it's pretty much full. And the same was true of the number of bales I could fit in it. It's only 50,000 litres of stuff that you can put in it, and within a third of a day it's empty. So I did feel that, well, maybe I want the commercial one, which is what this is, because it will hold more stuff. Little did I know that it still only holds a third of a day's worth of, or sorry, a third of a month. I'm playing with 3-day months, so no, slurry's not accepted there. Of course it's not. Slurry's accepted round the corner, like here. But yeah, it's like it. If I was playing one day months, I would have to come down with 500,000 litres of slurry and manure every 8 hours just to keep the BGA running, which is absolutely crazy. However, if I look at it as, well, it's something that can eliminate my slurry and manure, all I need is for it to be able to process that amount in a short period of time. We're not producing enough manure to keep that BGA running 24/7. As I said, we're not producing enough slurry to keep it running 24/7, but I've got 800,000 litres of slurry at the farm that I need to get rid of, so it can clear my tanks out. But maybe we do go with that BGA, the smaller one. And I can level it up to level 2 or level 3 if I need to. Going up to level 2, it will hold 100,000 litres, so that's 3 tanks of slurry, 3 carts of manure. It will still process that in a third of a month, so it's not like it's going to be running permanently and making me tons of cash. The issue I had was filling up the slurry and manure storage points on the farm. The slurry storage point, if it's full, will stop the cows producing milk. There must be room for the slurry in order for them to create milk, and I need the milk because that is what I'm using for income. But now that we've got the slurry under control, and really it's not that badly out of control. You look at the slurry, yeah, we were up to about a third, so I could have gone a little bit longer and then that was it. The cows would stop producing milk, and the whole point is for cows to produce the milk so that we can make the butter and the cheese if we want to make cheese. And all of those things. But yeah, that's as is. We're processing what I want to process. The fact that it makes a an absolute stupid amount of money, yeah, okay. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not like it's happening all of the time. So I'm fine with that. I mean, it's like, you know, the bread. We make lots of crates of bread per month. I forget how much, because recent patch quadrupled the base amount of all of the productions on the map productions. Now there are, if I go to the production menu, oh hi car, you've got the ordinary bakery, and then you've got somewhere down here there's the Maypole Farm Bakery, which may be, oh, I don't know, somewhere. Is that the no? That's the tailor shop. Whatever. But there, go away. Don't want to build a production on my field. But basically, there are base game productions, and then there are Maypole Farm productions. The Maypole Farm productions have 4 times the production capacity. Okay, you take care, Ranger, and I'll be back next week with some more of this madness. Actually, I think next week should be interesting. Oh, I'm so confused what's going on. So, yeah, we'll start winding down now. So this week, Teenage Osa's off to camp. I have to pick her up on Friday. But I have all the time in the world, because Mrs. Osa is taking our former foster kids off to Ohio for the week. And they don't intend to be back until next unload point, until Saturday evening. Like, it takes 5-6 hours to drive home when you factor in all the stops at the service stations, or service points, people service points. So, yeah, they won't be back until the evening. So I've pretty much got the week to myself. I won't be doing additional streaming during the week. At least that's not my intent. But I may have a look at plotting out the setup to Glenleafan. Maybe I will stream that. I don't know. But, yeah, I get a break. I get to sleep. I don't get woken up at night. It'll just be a nice, restful week. So I have to work during the day, but it's going to be peaceful. And so next week will be fairly quiet stream, with Teenage Osa hassling me for stuff, like when you going shopping because we're out of milk or things like that. I will be streaming on this farm, but this will be maybe next week will be the last episode. Maybe I'll go an extra one. I kind of want to get us through to the end of December, get the canola sold, see where the farm sits. If we're fortunate, we'll also run out of slurry in the cowshed. We'll have the milk all down and processed into butter, and it will just be a big sell day of all the stuff we have left. But that said, we also have the grass silage to make and that will be October, November. What I may do for grass silage is do as much of it as I can off camera, and then bring you all in as I finish it all off. And that will then let me skip the time through to following months to get to the end of the series. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. But, so that's the plan, I guess. What else is there? I think we've done fairly well. I think we've, reflections. 4 tractors is a thing. I should have had a second big tractor. The fact that I've had the John Deere for so long as the big tractor has resulted in a lot of jobs I can't do concurrently. So I couldn't set a worker off planting fields while I'm mowing, or things like that. And we've found that in the past with Lawfolds. I had 3 big tractors, just shy of 400 horsepower, I think, class Axion 940s and a AGCO 1000 Challenger. But by having, you're either limiting yourself to, if you have a medium tractor, if you have a 200 horsepower tractor and a 300 horsepower tractor, you probably want 90% of your equipment to be a maximum of 200 horsepower on its requirements. If you have too many that require the 300 horsepower tractor, you're going to find yourself at times not able to do everything you want to do, because that tractor has jobs queued up for the next 5 days. But if you have 200 horsepower equipment, then you can freely swap between your smallest and your medium and big tractor, and get everything achieved that you want to achieve. And at the point where you just have too many fields to achieve what you want to achieve with the equipment that you have, it's time to buy more equipment or bigger equipment. Now, this map doesn't really allow for bigger equipment, so you need more of it. So a couple of 8-9 meter seeders, a couple of 8-9 meter rollers, or a couple of rollers, a couple of sprayers, whatever, just so that I can get around all of the fields in the time I need to. And I guess I'm going to do another round trip. But yeah, so this is really the end of September 1. I don't have any more jobs I have to get done today. I don't even have any jobs that I have to get done tomorrow, except shipping all the flour down to the bakery. But so I guess for now I'm hungry. I need something a little bit more substantial to whet my palate, and then I can go and cut the grass, I guess. But for now, I wish you all a good weekend, and I'm going to be out of here. Have fun, everyone.